What's up, plant family? Devin is here, and I gotta admit, the more I garden, the more I just love taking propagations to create duplications of some of my favorite plants, both indoors and outdoors. When you learn how to propagate effectively, it really saves you a lot of time and a lot of money. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you my secret to propagating with success, like 99.9% of the time. And that would be using a heat mat. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly what a heat mat is and how to use them so that you can improve your propagation success for anything from a Christmas cactus to a coleus, a geranium, a schefflera, and more. And let's not forget that if we're starting seedlings inside our home, things like tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, using a heat mat is definitely going to improve the success rate of those seedlings as well. Now, Propagating 101 teaches us that heat and warmth are actually the components that allow for root initiation to occur. It's not lighting, as many of us may think. That's why using a heat mat that gently raises the temperature of those propagating materials can actually induce root formation so much quicker and more efficiently as opposed to just trying to propagate on a table or on a shelf in some random area of your home. And for that reason, I start all of my propagations on a heat mat, whether it's a water propagation or whether it's propagating material directly into soil. Using a heat mat can also even allow us to skip certain steps in the propagation process, especially things like succulents like jades or Christmas cactus, where you would typically take a cutting and allow for that cutting to callus over before you propagate it. Using a heat mat, you can actually just propagate it right away, and you don't have to worry about those ends of those propagated pieces rotting before they deliver roots. So how does a heat mat actually work? Now, a heat mat is going to provide about 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit increase in temperature above your ambient room temperature. So if your home is 65 degrees Fahrenheit, this is going to raise the temperature of anything on top of it by around 10 to 15 degrees, putting those propagating materials at that sweet spot of between like 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. And that is absolutely going to create much more rapid root formation of these propagating materials. Now, this video, it's not an advertisement for this heat mat. There's lots of different great ones out there. I particularly use the heat mat by VivoSun. It's very affordable, budget friendly. You can find a link to this heat mat in the description below if you would like to purchase one. But I do find that this one is quite nice because it has a wonderful benefits of being double insulated, so it's completely water resistant, wear resistant, as you can see. It's also flexible, can fold up easily, but best of all, it has a sensor that if it starts to notice that it's overheating, it will shut off on its own. So you don't have to worry about any sort of accident where your heat mat gets too hot and melts something or burns your plants, anything like that. You don't have to worry about that with this heat mat, which is why I love it. Now, the one that I'm particularly using is a 10-inch by 20 inches, and it's perfect. I have this plastic tray that I put underneath it. That way, when I have my plants that are being grown in soil and I need to water them, any excess moisture is trapped in this plastic tray. It's a really nice, cheap, inexpensive setup and highly effective. And I do use a couple of flexible LED lights that are on a 12-hour timer just to provide a little extra lighting. Now, I keep my heat mat plugged in 24/7 for months at a time, and I've never had any problems. It's very low electricity usage, very energy efficient, so it's not gonna run up your electric bill either. You can even get some that have like a thermostat control, so if you are a little bit more specific on the exact temperature that you want to achieve, with a thermostat control, you can of course set it to that temperature that you are looking for. From my experience, if I have a plant that typically takes like a month to propagate just on a shelf somewhere else, it will start to propagate with success in about 2 to 3 weeks. So it definitely saves you time when you're propagating with a heat mat. And I honestly do have like pretty good, like 99.9% efficiency rate with my propagated material on this heat mat. So if you're trying to really improve your abilities to propagate, to produce new plants for free for yourself, for your family, to fill out your home, to fill out your garden, consider using a heat mat. They're really great. You can find a link to this exact one in the description below if you are looking to add one to your home gardening experience. Anyways, if you do have any further questions or comments, make sure you leave them below. I'd love to know if you have other experiences using heat mats. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me here on Plant Vibrations. I'll catch you soon. Ciao.